Many people hold false beliefs and fairy tales about love, relationships, and even how to act around women. They go see movies and eat up all the misinformation shown on them. Let me tell you right now that the real world isn't like the movies at all, and believing them is just setting yourself up for pain and disappointment. With that said, let's talk about the 5 brutal truths about women that men learn too late. These truths are all based on real-life experience, not the lies that they show you in movies that they would have you believe. Number 1. She'll relentlessly put you to the test. This is probably the most significant one of the 5. One thing you need to keep in mind about female behavior is that most of what a woman does to you is done to test the waters with you, either purposely or, more frequently, unconsciously. Their natural desire is to test your stability and strength in order to increase their chances of survival. This goes way back to the Stone Age, where having a strong protector and provider meant life or death. Although it can still be like that in the modern world, it's to a lesser extent. This is our innate desire for security and protection, and can be about the physical aspect, emotional aspect, or even the financial aspect. So anytime you fail these tests, she'll become less attracted to you and lose respect for you. Nowadays, the majority of guys have no concept that this is even a thing or that it even occurs at all. They consistently fail and then whine about their dating experiences while drowning in their ignorance. You need to be firm with your purpose in order to show that you can give her the security that she needs. This can be seen in being driven with your own life goals. After all, being a good provider and protector requires this. However, there still needs to be a balance between concentrating on your goals and also giving your woman attention. And that, my friend, is the difficult part, because both require time and effort. Number 2. Trusting her words is a mistake. If you believe everything she says to you, you're a fool. The thing is, it's very common for women to say something but feel completely different. I'm not trying to say that all women are manipulative liars. What I'm trying to say is that you can't trust everything she says, because sometimes she doesn't even know how she's feeling. For example, have you ever asked your woman if she wants space while you're having an argument? So she'll say that she does want space, and then right after you give that to her, she gets mad and accuses you of not caring. Sound familiar? The thing is, we can't trust everything they say. As Sigma males, we need to rely on our own perception to be able to give our ladies what they really want. Of course, this can be tricky, but this comes from learning who your lady is inside and out, and then trusting your instincts. Number 3. It's difficult to maintain women. One of the widely accepted lies of today is that there exists women who aren't difficult to maintain. The truth is that every relationship requires time and effort on both ends to be a good one. A lot of women's minds have been poisoned by the notion that an effortless, movie-esque happy ever after exists, but this is just wrong. On the other side of the coin, men have been misled to believe that once they find the woman of their dreams, it'll all be smooth sailing and rainbows and butterflies and no compromise. So, they get complacent and ultimately ruin the relationship because of this. The fact of the matter is, you always need to put effort. You can't ever stop doing this. If you do, another guy who does put in the effort will swoop in and take your money, and swooping is bad. Believe me, if you stop maintaining your woman, she'll willingly be taken away from you. With that said, the only way to really keep your woman is to do just a little better each day. If you do this, there'll be constant improvement on your end, and trust me, your woman will be happy to stay with you, and of course, she'll treat you better too. Why would she want to fumble a great man and look elsewhere? Putting in the effort makes you the most desirable man to her. Number 4. If you allow her to, she will dominate you. The typical dynamic of a modern couple consists of a strong, dominating woman and a weak, submissive man. It can be confusing as to why there are so many relationships of this nature and whether or not this state of affairs ought to be the norm. Why are there so many powerful women in the world today? It's because their partners are too submissive, too fragile to be the dominant person in the relationship. As harsh as it may sound, all partnerships have a dominant partner and a submissive partner. For example, consider a boss and an employee, a king and a queen, or any other connection you can think of. There just can't be two rulers or two leaders. She'll take advantage of you and convert the relationship into her own personal property if you don't maintain your natural dominant role. The sad truth is that when a woman insists on being the head of the household, everyone is eager to applaud her for being a queen. But the moment a guy chooses to fulfill his natural, traditional duty as the head of the household, he's criticized as an oppressive chauvinist. So why does one side receive praise and the other get shut down? I mean, because of this, you have men who believe that they can't voice out their opinions without getting cancelled or shut down. You have men who believe that it's better to shut up because it keeps their wives happy. But the thing is, this dynamic bottles up emotions and ultimately leads to the death of relationships. Of course, this doesn't mean that men should treat women like objects or lesser beings, but it just means that you need to know your worth and act like it. Take care of your woman, but don't be a slave. Number 5. Women loathe overly emotional men. People would have you believe that being so in touch with your emotions is likable by the common woman. But if you ask someone on the street about this, they'd probably say that they'd be turned off if their man always cried in front of them. It's true that releasing your emotions every now and then could be healthy and maybe even therapeutic. But the harsh truth is that nobody likes a crybaby. If you spend all your time whining and crying, thinking that it makes you look sensitive, you're gonna have a bad time. People just don't like that. To be honest, it's draining, and despite what people say nowadays, it makes you look weak. It shows a lack of discipline. Showing weakness repeatedly is a surefire way of making her lose all attraction and respect for you. The thing is, she wants someone to lean on, not the other way around. Because if it were that way, then she would feel that she has no time to deal with her own problems because she always has to deal with her crybaby husband or boyfriend's issues. With that said, the best thing to do is to learn to have emotional discipline. It's okay to feel. It's okay to let it out every once in a while, but there's a time and place to do so. What's most important about everything is to show strength in the face of all of life's hardships, physical and emotional. Thank you for watching, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the like, subscribe button, and bell icon so you can be sure to connect with us in our future videos. See you next time.